Welcome to Hey, It's Carly Rae's Book Club. This is Book Hour, where authors talk their latest novels, reveal their writing process, and chat all things books. I'm your host, Carly Rae, here with bestselling author Tijan. Welcome, Tijan. I'm so excited to have you. Tell us where you're joining us from.
Hi, I'm joining you from Fargo, North Dakota.
How's the weather
Way up
today?
north, and I'm trying to say that without the accent, because on some words we do have the accent.
You do? Well, I heard it a little, but not too much.
I know. I was like trying to hold it back.
Well, tell us about your latest new adult novel, A Hockey with Benefits.
Okay. Hockey with Benefits. It's about Mara. She's got some stuff going on with her family, and so she goes to college to kind of escape it. And one of the ways that she copes with the family stuff is that she enjoys sex. And then her and Cruz, they kind of get into this they're not friends with benefits type of deal. And then like you can tend to know what usually happens with those type of stuff. Lots of drama, lots of real tough stuff that I put in there too. But yeah, it's the story of how Cruz, who's this hockey superstar, and then how Mara, how they end up getting together.
Yeah. Well, what made you want to tell this story of Mara and Cruz?
Well, I actually wrote another book, Blaze's book, her ex, earlier, and then she was a surprise character in that book. And then I was gonna write like a short story for like another anthology, and then her character just came to me, and I was like just kind of drawn to how complicated she was, but also just kind of like the pain and the struggle inside of her, because you don't see any of that. You just get like a hint that she's got something going on with her her family life, but that was it. And so because she didn't tell anybody in that book, and then Cruz, when I started writing Cruz, he was in the anthology, and then he was like more of an easygoing character. And then when I wrote their book, like the real Cruz came out, and I was like, oh wow, he's like alpha and like tough and like no nonsense, and yeah. So I enjoyed writing it.
Yeah. Now, when you do your characters, do you do like character sheets, or do they kind of just like come to you? Like their voices?
I'm bad at the character sheets. So they kind of come to me. I have a background in psychology, so I think I utilize that a lot with my characters. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, the backdrop of this storyline is hockey. Do you watch or play a lot of hockey?
I loved hockey growing up, and then I kind of went away from it, and I became more like basketball, football type of fan, and volleyball is my sport. And then I recently got back into hockey stuff. So I did a lot of research to remind myself about everything for the game and stuff, because I do have scenes where he plays hockey in the book. That was important for me if I'm going to write a hockey book, I'm going to like really put hockey in it and stuff. And then recently, this last year, my friends and I have started going to a local hockey thing as much as possible, because it's a lot of fun. So both.
Yeah. Now, did you know how you wanted Hockey with Benefits to end before you started writing? Or did you start writing and then say, okay, this could be the ending?
I think I just started writing it, and then I sent it to an editor, like not a normal editor, a development editor. And then she was recommending some other added stuff. So then I added some more chapters, and I think that kind of changed the ending. Yeah, I didn't know the ending. It just kind of happened as I was writing it.
Now let's shift and talk about one of your latest contemporary romance novels, A Cruel Arrangement. Tell viewers more about this one.
Okay, so this is very different from this is college hockey. Friends with Benefits. This is mafia, and older 20s, early 30s. So this is book 2. This is book 1 right here.
Okay.
So this one is about a parole officer, and she's a parole officer, and she really loves her job. And then he's Wall Street guy, but his family is in the mafia in New York, and they want him to start taking over the mafia stuff. And so these two kind of like have intense chemistry right away, and it's very like taboo push-pull. I don't want you, but I do. You're opposite what I do for my living, blah blah blah, and then Ashton is for this book, he was the best friend in this book, and then something happens at the end of this book, so that carries over into Ashton and Molly's book. And then Ashton is very much in the mafia. He's just not a good guy. He likes to torture. He likes to like be the dark guy that causes pain. And then Molly owns a bowling alley, and she is very much the opposite, but kind of like in a crazy fun way. And then she has this switch where like if her life or her, like the first chapter, the bowling alley is being robbed, and she is like, oh no, you're not going to do this to me. And so she does like crazy stuff. And then she ends up scaring the robber away. And so like, yeah. And then like her life, because of that and because of something else, her life gets put in danger. And then Ashton is connected to her. They knew each other when they were kids. He hated her. She was the kind of opposite. She kind of like instantly had like a crush. There's like some more stuff in there, the more dynamics, because it has to do with their parents too. But then he's put in this position where he is trying to use her, but then he's also ends up like protecting her. And then he gets confused because then he's just like, I don't like you, but why do I want to like have sex with you? And so I really enjoyed the dynamic between these two characters.
Yeah. Now, yeah.
The best.
Well, that was a good synopsis without giving away spoilers.
Good.
Yeah. Now, Ashton Walden, as you said, he's crafted as like this dangerous mafia guy. What made you want to craft him as this bad guy who may just have a good heart?
I think because he was the opposite of Trace in the first book. Trace is kind of like the stereotypical good guy who has to do like bad things. And Ashton, I just wanted him to do the opposite. He's like, no, I like torturing people. I love it. It's a sport to me. It's like my art, and like, and then just the dichotomy of like what comes out of him from like Molly makes him try to think about being a better guy.
Yeah.
I enjoy the writing. I just enjoy the characters are like, no, I'm bad. I'm just going to be bad. I don't care what other people say.
Now, what was the hardest part of writing A Cruel Arrangement?
The hardest part was when I was writing it, I had health problems last year. And when I was writing the first draft, my brain kind of like broke. It was like some stuff that I was going through. And then I think by the time they came back to me, because I knew the first draft was like really not the greatest. So I knew the feedback was going to not be the greatest.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. And by the time that like they got feedback back to me, like I had been doing some stuff for my health so that my brain was starting to work again. So I was able to like kind of regroup and put my best foot forward after that. But that was the hardest part of writing it. And I didn't outline. They wouldn't let me outline it. And like when I say they, I mean the characters.
Yeah.
They just refused to like let me outline it. So I had to kind of go in blind.
Yeah. You mean revision-wise outline?
No, outline it like in the beginning where you outline it before you start writing it. No, they wouldn't let me do
that. So you're going in blind.
Yeah.
Now, is there a chapter you can't wait for readers to read?
Oh shoot. There's a lot of good ones that I enjoyed reading or enjoyed writing. Probably the ones where they finally like another thing has happened to Molly, and then they have to go to like Trace and Jess's place for like safekeeping. And then like that whole, there's like in a gas station scene, I really enjoyed writing that. And then like the aftermath of that, it's just like the emotions, and then how I showed how she needed Ashton in that time. And that was like a pivotal change for their dynamics, I should say that. So that's kind of like that was like my favorite place to write, and so I would hope readers enjoy that too.
Well, let's talk about your writing. You're a best-selling author with numerous novels. Did you always want to be an author?
No. I was a big reader growing up, a voracious reader, and then I only remember like one creative writing class. I think I was in 6th grade, and I did okay with it. I didn't really think of it. I wanted to be like a marine biologist growing up. And so like I never was thinking about writing or anything. And then I had a professor who told me I was not the greatest writer for academic papers, and I don't think I was. But it wasn't until like after college that I had these characters in my head, and I felt like I was going to go crazy if I didn't get them out of me. So the story is that I was at my family's lake cabin, and my dad had this really old computer, which I did not know if it would even work. It was so old that like the regular color was like tinted yellow. Like it was that bad. But it worked, and I was able to start writing, and then I just felt like this like click of like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do. Like whether I get money, if I get paid from it or not, like this is what I have to be doing. So that's kind of how I started. And then I had to, and then I taught myself how to like write creative stuff for like for books and stuff. It took like quite a few years though before I felt comfortable.
Yeah. Now you do write like in various like kind of genres. Did you always kind of want to jump around and try different things?
Yeah. I get like, if I write like too many books in like one genre, I get a little like, I need to write something in like another thing. I think I wrote like 5 mafia books back to back, and I was supposed to write another one for my agent, and I was just like, please can we switch them around? I was like, I have to write like a college romance or a young adult romance or something. I just needed like a change.
Yeah. Now walk us through a day in your life when writing. Do you write first thing in the morning, later in the day? Can you write at a coffee shop?
It changes. It depends on the book. So some books won't let me write them. Like I can't feel into them until like nighttime. Some like want me to write them early in the morning. So it's like, I really like adhere to whenever the creative stuff is coming, that's when I start writing. So it always like depends, but like if I am in writing mode, I try to like do business stuff later. So I try to get my words in first and then do business stuff, but that doesn't always work. And then I end up switching it and doing business stuff in the morning, and then I need like a couple hours to like kind of get all that stuff out of me so that I can like just focus on writing the book. So there's no typical schedule with me at all. It always changes.
Yeah. Now, before I let you go, tell readers or viewers where they can expect tell readers when they can expect more books from you and where they can find you on social media.
My website is www.tijansbooks.com. So Tijan S and then books.com. You can find me on Instagram at Tijan's Books. I'm on TikTok, but I'm not like the greatest. I'm on like Tijan_author. Otherwise, like my handle is Tijan's Books for everything else. And my next book will be, I might do like an alien novella this summer at some point, which would be a surprise, like just a break for me to write something different. Otherwise, it will probably be Pine River, which will be early September, which is a mature young adult book that I've been working on.
Well, you heard Tijan. Go check out her latest novels, Hockey with Benefits and A Cruel Arrangement. Thank you all so much for joining us on this episode of Book Hour. Tune in next week for an all-new episode. In the meantime, you can stay up to date on all things Hey, It's Carly Rae on HeyitsCarlyRae.com and Hey, It's Carly Rae on social media.